GCM Hub is the go-to place for community managers and builders to find tips, tricks, and insider knowledge on game community management. Game community management is the human element in video games. It's the ability for players and the space for players to communicate and bond with one another, as well as for your developer and publishing team to interact with and engage your players. I think the big issue right now is that community management is very fragmented. You have communities on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, but these are all spaces outside of the game. They're not trackable. We're trying to create a space where we can help community managers and community builders grow their aspects of the business much more effectively. So I'd like to point out Yoda One Games, which launched Transformers Earth Wars in China.
For the Transformers game, a lot of the metrics that we track is on user retention as well as user conversion, users that actually pay within the game. Retention is very important because with hardcore games like Transformers Earth Wars, the cost of acquiring users is extremely high. So at its peak, we could be paying $20 or $30 per user from our marketing campaigns. So we started designing community management events as well as using different community management strategies to keep them in-game for longer. And as they were being more active and having more fun, they naturally spent more. They're the players that have spent the most, and they're also the players that have stayed in the game the longest, with about 80% of them spending more than a year in the game and spending over $500 US on average.
A lot of people just don't know how to do community management well. Every single update, every single marketing push in the gaming world these days is entirely trackable, not on community. So when you're trying to measure value and invest your money on an ROI basis in terms of your community management, you can't do it unless you have the right tools and right strategies in place to measure the return. One of the teams that's doing that right now is KT Play. Without the right tools and places and strategies set up, it becomes very difficult to not only manage a close-knit community, but also track and measure the value of that community.
I think the principle is to have a framework and methodology so that you can very quickly experiment. So on a weekly basis, we will try 2, 3, 4 different experiments, and then we have the analytics tools and game community management tools to be able to measure the success or failure of each of these events. We keep experimenting, we keep the ones that work, analyze why they work, and then create new events that will take us to the next level.
GCM Hub, we're seeking to bring some of the sharpest and brightest minds in game community management together. If you're interested in learning more about game community management, be sure to check out our website, gcmgame.com, or follow us on social media.